Guys, somebody up Peaceful here. Listen, I talk about semen retention a lot on the channel. You know that. I also talk about travel a lot. And I wanted to give you guys, through this video, a couple tips on how to carry yourselves. I'm all for men's health, all for optimizing men's status. And so we can't overly speak about the spiritual if we're not talking about the physical, we're not including that, at least an aspect of it, within my, my conversations, within my videos. And so today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how it's equally important to be on semen retention as well as getting fly and buying some Golden Goose and some Acne Studios and some goddamn Brunello Cucinelli. Of course, if you can afford it. I'm gonna get into this, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it right now. Of course, this is on the assumption that you are on semen retention and you've mastered it, which means that you're not reflexively dealing with, oh, should I relapse or not? I relapsed a week ago. That means if this is still happening right now, that means that you don't have enough hobbies in your life. You're not busy enough. You keep getting distracted. That means that you don't have a structure of mind to filter unwanted information in and out of the brain. And you are sort of swept up by distractions very easily, which means that you need to refer to the former in order to obtain that structure of mind. This is speaking to the people that have already mastered it and are trying to find out something better with their lives, how to further improve. And so I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how to do that. Number one, we need to start grooming. I think a lot of guys don't do that, especially in the semen retention space. I think a lot of people that has gone out the window, I think, with a lot of people in the semen retention space. We are so focused on conspiracy theories about the world holding us down or just sort of suppressing the male sexual energy, which is true, but we are so focused on that we are not paying attention to how we are presenting ourselves to the world outside. That also showcases a form of mastery of the self to some degree. Remember, every now and then, every couple days, you're supposed to trim yourself or groom yourself. However you want to do it, you do it. But your looks matter. Don't ever let anyone downplay that, or don't let even following the semen retention practice downplay that whole thing. Your looks matter, so you need to keep them neat. Keep your nails trimmed, groom yourselves, make sure that your stuff is lined up. I need to cut my hair a little bit, or I need to shave a little bit more because it's getting a little crazy up there. But you're always supposed to look nice. Make sure you brush your teeth. I always suggest going to the dentist at least twice a year for cleaning, semi-annual cleaning. And you go to the doctor once a year to make sure that your blood work is fine, your blood pressure is good, your thyroid is fine, is functioning well. You don't have any problems, you're not overweight. I have a scale in the house. This girl I used to know bought that for me. I didn't really need a scale because I knew I was fit anyway. And I knew that I was feeling good anyway because I cook a lot of my own foods. I go to the gym a lot. And I don't smoke, drink, or do drugs. So I'm gonna be fine. I think I'm gonna be fine. You guys need to pay attention to grooming. Number two, which is, I guess, the focal point of this video, is that you need to buy some good fabrics for yourself. Seriously, you need to go out to legitimate stores and see what fits you. Find out your sizes for shirts, like for button-ups. I used to go to Brooks Brothers. I'm gonna go back. I think it's bankrupt, so there's no more Brooks Brothers. But you need to know your shirt measurements. You need to know your pants measurements, especially not like super fitted pants, but stuff that fits you, right? That's comfortable. And make sure that you look good. You buy good fabrics. All men need to have a couple pairs of jeans, some nice cargo pants, some nice baggy jeans, fitted jeans, some nice shirts, maybe regular t-shirts, tanks, so on and so forth, a nice turtleneck sweater, a nice cashmere sweater. We need pairs of sneakers, not like Jordans or anything like that, or Nikes. You need to have a nice pair of sneakers. Me, I have a Golden Goose, a pair of Golden Goose. I think they're the Stardans. I'm gonna show a picture of them in the video right there. Stardans. But then I also have this Rag & Bone remodeling of the Converse sneaker, which are really nice. I bought them the other day. They were on sale. They were, I think, running for $350. I got them for $125. Right. So they look nice. I really like them a lot. And also I bought another pair of the classic style of the Golden Goose Deluxe sneaker. They're in black. I can't wait to get them. And that's going to be my spring and summer wear for this year. I'm not even playing around. And of course I plan to do a little bit more shopping for like oversized shirts, tanks, a nice chino, balloon pants. I'm very, very excited about the fabrics that I wear, and I put a lot of attention into them, and I make sure that I buy good quality stuff. Not necessarily fashion, not nice, expensive fashion brands, because expensive fashion brands, when they're trying to minimize their costs. So a lot of them, I mean, a lot of their clothes are polyester, they're not cotton, they're synthetic ingredients that are not very good for your skin. And so you need to pay attention to that. Also have some nice things. You need to have some nice clothes. Semen retention is incredibly important, but the effects that come about from the confidence that comes about from semen retention will be magnified knowing that you look good, knowing that you go to the gym, you make sure that your aesthetic is nice, but then the clothes you wear showcases that physique, not in a showy way, but in a very subdued, classy way, right? If this video does very well, or even if it doesn't, I think I'm going to showcase a lot of that too. I'm going to get into the whole fashion thing, because I don't think a lot of us men especially pay attention to that kind of stuff. Also, we need to have nice colognes. I currently use some, I could do better, right? I want to get like the Tom Ford Oud cologne. It's a little expensive, but I know the cologne lasts, and it's a signature smell. What you want to have as a man is you want an effect. You want to be able to have an effect on the world when you come into a room. You want to have an effect or something signature that ties someone smells that, and then they tie it to you. You want to have that, and it feels good to have that. You know what I mean? It feels good to smell good. It feels good to have good hygiene. And so I'm gonna get into the hygiene part a little later, but all men need to have at least one good cologne. Tom Ford is good. I think there's a Jean Paul Gaultier one that I was using. I could get that too. That was a really nice smell. I should get that. I used to use it back in college, my first years of getting my associate's degree. But I stopped getting it because I thought that paying $100 for cologne was too much, when in reality, I just really wasn't at that level that I am now in terms of taking care of myself, or making sure that I look good, I smell good, I feel good based on how I look. $100 for cologne, that's nothing, guys. You need to make sure that you have good cologne, and nothing too overpowering. You want something subtle. You dress not flashy. You don't wear a lot of flashy colors like yellow, bright red, or you could wear yellow, but make sure that you're not doing too much with it. It's subdued. Make sure your fabrics are clean. You have to make sure that every time when you wear clothes a lot, make sure you take care of your fabrics. Sometimes fabrics are delicate. You have to have a good relationship with your neighborhood dry cleaner. I moved to this neighborhood about almost a year ago now. I moved in last June. And I already got to know my dry cleaner, the dry cleaners that's next to me, the guy that runs it. He's the owner, the business owner. He's Korean. He has his parents that work sewing and that operate the machinery in the back. Have a relationship with your dry cleaners. They also do tailoring. Make sure that you get your clothes tailored as well if they're not fitting up to snuff. Seriously, this is just logic, right? And of course, when you dry clean your clothes, the fabrics last a lot longer than if you were to put them in the washing machine and then put them in a dryer. Dryers destroy the colors, and so you're gonna look, it gives a very unprofessional look. Seriously. You need to take into consideration how people are perceiving you on a physical level. Of course, the semen retention covers the energetic part, right? You're gonna get your compliments on physical, sure. But you need to also look nice, carry yourself well, make sure not only you carry yourself well, that you know what you're talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, you understand how to carry yourself in a conversation where you're transitioning to topics that you do know about, or asking questions in a very non-egotistical way that showcases that you are interested in what the main topic of the conversation is about. That's another topic for another video, but we're gonna cover the physical stuff in this one. Hygiene. Hygiene is so important, so important. I don't know if us guys are brushing our teeth twice a day. I don't know if we're brushing our teeth twice a day. We need to be doing that. Flossing every single day. I bought a little pseudo dental kit from Target the other day with those tools that pick in between our teeth that the dentists use during the cleaning to get rid of plaque and calculus, right? That build up within our teeth that we don't usually cover. You need to have an acquaintance with that. You need to be properly acquainted with that. Also, we need to be taking showers at least once a day. I do at least once a day. Sometimes twice a day, depending on how heavy the shift at the Georgian restaurant is. You need to be taking your showers. I think a lot of us are not taking our showers. And the problem is too, we don't really pay attention to the products that we use on our skin. This skin is all we got, man. This is the only physical representation to this fallen world. And so we need to make sure that we get the proper soaps. I know a lot of us are using Dove, Dial, Irish Spring, all those kind of cheap brands distributed by these big brands, Mondelez and Procter & Gamble, that are only about mass production. They don't really care about what goes into it. Me personally, I use Native. Native is really good. It doesn't have like any phthalates or any parabens or anything like that that could really harm your skin over time. And so I use that. It's a little more expensive than Dove, because I think Dove and Dial and all those little brands, they cost like $3. But I'm paying $15 for a slightly smaller bottle. But my skin health matters to me. And so I do not care about paying a premium price for that. And I think that you guys need to fall into that same line as well. You make sure that I have a different soap for a facial cleanser. That thing is like $16, which is nuts. It's small as hell, but I don't care because my skin looks amazing. And so I use that only. I don't use like body soaps on my face and so on and so forth. I shampoo occasionally, even though I don't have a lot to shampoo. But remember, scalp health is important as well. I also make sure that I wear deodorant regularly. In my Coach bag, I don't know where I put it. I carry that around to my 2 jobs, and I make sure I have an extra toothpaste, a travel toothbrush. I have my mouthwash, which is, I forget what brand I use, but it's really good. I use an app called Yuka, and I scan these things to make sure that they check out. They don't have a lot of additives or any toxic things in there that would be detrimental to my health in the long run. And so I have oral rinse in there. I have floss. I have a lint roller in there. I also have lotions, a very good lotion. CeraVe is really good, just because, I'm dark skinned, I get ashy quickly, especially in this cold weather. So I make sure that everything is up to snuff and I always look good. And I have a deodorant spray in there as well, just in case, when I'm coming from, I'm doing a double shift, and so I need to freshen up again. And I have a fabric spray as well, just to give my clothes a little bit of a straightened look, much more neat look, right? I use usually the lint roller, and I use that afterwards. So I think we need to get more serious. All in all, in Some Nation, I think we need to get a little bit more serious about how we present ourselves to the world physically. Semen retention is great. It's good to spiritually evolve. It's good to really go out there and do your thing, right? On a spiritual level. But the physical matters just as important as the spiritual. And you need to make sure that everything is up to snuff. In fact, your physical health is an extension of your spiritual health. And so it needs to be catered as such as well. Make sure you eat proper foods, your greens. You're not eating a lot of processed foods, not eating a lot of hydrogenated fats and oils. You're not consuming a lot of those. And make sure that you're eating your greens, your meats and all that. You're having your omega-3s and you're getting your collagen. When I first started living here, I abided by Lidl and Aldi. Right, they're very the discount retailers, and they're good. They have good foods and whatnot, but some of the quality of the foods in there are not the best. Right, both of those places have a lot of bioengineered ingredients. Unless if I was in Switzerland or Zurich or anything, my shopping at Aldi's and Lidl's have lowered a little bit. Now I go to this Eastern European supermarket. There was this Russian woman that stopped me the other day and said, you need to be eating herring because herring has a lot of good collagen. It keeps your skin, it not only tastes good if you prepare it correctly, but it keeps your skin looking nice. Look at me. And and she looked good. She was like in probably her 50s, and she looked good. She had nice skin. She had the nice little trapper hat, of course, as the devushkas do over there. But she gave me a lot of advice regarding that. She's like, you need to have your omega-3s, eat your cod liver oil. Eat your cod liver. And I was like, yeah, I believe you, of course. And so, anyway, the video went on longer than it should. I think that ultimately what I'm saying is that semen retention and getting fly are not mutually exclusive. You can do both, and you should do both. Make sure you go to the gym. Make sure that you're hitting all the parts of your body, making sure you look good, make sure that your cardio health is working, and making sure that you're staying on semen retention, and you got the Golden Goose and the Brunello Cucinelli. If you guys don't know what that brand is, look that up. Super expensive. I don't even own anything from them, to be honest. They have a cashmere cable knit sweater that goes for $5,660. It's crazy. That's discounted, by the way. It's crazy. That is all I have to say about that today, guys. If you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Please don't forget to join the Patreon. I can go more in depth with a lot of things over there. I should, in fact, make a Patreon video about hygiene and how I take care of myself over there. I should go much more in depth. So get ready for that, guys. Don't ever let this place get you down. Treat yourselves well. Make sure you treat yourselves occasionally to nice dinners, because that matters too, just as much as cultivating your spiritual health. Because you need to focus on how you feel. Sometimes the spiritual journey is very, very isolating and very marginalizing, especially to yourself, because remember, the more you rise in vibrations, you're harboring thoughts of a certain frequency that the collective consciousness does not share. In fact, they see it as a contrast. And so that's going to be very isolating for you. And you need to make sure that you're regulating your health in a physical way and an emotional way to deal with those down days of being on this spiritual journey. I'll help you guys there. Don't you worry. I love you all, and stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Woo!